Hey, so I'm gonna do a quick second showcase and like a fitment test, just to show some people what they're kind of getting into with it. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm gonna try and do it in one take. We'll see where it goes. But this is an OEM shell, and this is a black shell, and this is a clear shell. So first of all, OEM, it's a very just kind of nice plastic material, and they fit together perfectly. And what I like about the black is that it does the exact same thing. It just fits together, just no fuss, no muss. You can just put it in, and it feels just like the injection molded plastic, even though it's resin. It's really nice. This one I just took out, so it's kind of like there's like a wet spot there, just because I haven't touched it since I got it from the factory. But contrast that with this clear shell, and it's beautiful and I love it. It's just that, like, even you could just feel it just a little bit. I think that there's like some kind of clear coat over it that makes it thicker, and it's on the inside and the outside. And I've already tested, it doesn't affect the fit of anything, the buttons, the PCB, that all fits. But what it ends up doing is it makes it just so that they don't, I mean, yeah, they mesh fine, and it's totally super usable, but I just want it to be 100% clear that it's not quite as nice as the black material. And in order to showcase that, I'm gonna try and mesh the different shells together. So I have an OEM front and a black resin back, and as you can see, I mean, they just fit perfectly. It's really, I think you just have to, something's going on. There we go. So yeah, they just fit really nice. They mate together. It's really good. And I'll do the same thing with the black resin front, OEM back. It's just no problem. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so absolutely perfect. Just takes like a wiggle or two, but it just meshes perfectly, and you can screw that, and against your hand it just feels like an actual normal controller. They just match perfect. So compare that to this. It's just a little less nice. So I have the clear front and the OEM back, and let's see, there we go. But like when one is on, the other isn't. So you kind of have to play with it just a little extra, and there it is. And then even then, there's a little bit more give. Like once you screw it, it'll be fine. But you can just tell that, yeah, like that would be fine. Like once you get it right and then you screw it, it's fine. But you're always, just because they don't fit quite as perfect, you're always gonna feel that seam just a little bit more. And it's just not as flawless as the black. And that's just the point I'm trying to get across, is that it's not awful. It's actually not bad. It's just, I wanna be transparent about that. I think this would be a super sick combination with the clear back and the OEM front. I love the way that looks, but yeah, it's just a little bit more difficult. And hey, who knows, maybe the new shells I get will be a little bit nicer than these ones. But like right there, it mates perfectly fine. It's just a little less nice, and you're gonna notice the seam just a little bit more. It's just not quite as perfect as the black. And again, the reason I think that is because there's some kind of like clear coat or like a lacquer, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm capping, but I just think there's something around this shell that's making it a little bit less perfect in mesh than these. It's perfect. And just to explain that kind of difference, I got this shell shipped to me and they were connected. It literally shipped in the box like this. But with these two, they were shipped separate. So they even knew that it just wasn't quite as nice of a mesh. I will say though that clear on clear, it meshes perfectly fine. You know, just a little bit thicker, you can feel the seam, but these, it meshes with itself really nice. It just doesn't mesh with OEM or with the black quite as nice as the black and OEM mesh with each other. But yeah, so the seam's a little bit extra. And another thing is that when I installed the third hex nut, it actually doesn't make contact with the threads. And that, again, I just think it's because this material is just a little bit thicker. It's just a little bit thicker, and it creates very small problems like that. Like, it's not a big deal. It keys in on 2 spots and it screws in on 2 more. So if one screw post is missing, you're fine. Also, you could probably go on McMaster Car and get a slightly longer screw for that, and it'd be like nothing's different. So that's totally not a big deal, but it just shows. I'm just trying to explain the problem. As far as these gates go, the problem extends here too. If I try to put one of these clear gates, and it's beautiful and it's actually really nice and it's dimensionally stable, I'm sure this is completely viable, but you know what? That's kind of nice. Yeah, it's fine. I actually don't see any problem with that. It connects perfect. So you can probably just go with these clear gate plates and be perfectly fine. But with these white ones, it just drops right in, like, see that? It just drops right in like no other. Oh, now I'm just dropping everything. It's just a little bit tighter. I just get the feel that this clear material is just a little bit thicker. So the clearance is just a little bit different, and I just want you to be aware of that. But it fits fine, and actually I'm really happy with that. I could use that on my main controller, but it's just something to be aware of. If it's thicker, like up here, then you might want to lift your stick up just a little bit so it gets the same contact, and if you don't, it might give you like a gummy feeling as the rubber of the analog stick kind of touches on the gate. But that's total, like, just conjecture. I don't know if that's really true. So you'd have to experiment with that. And it's, again, really not a big deal at all, but just something to be aware of. Like, if I were to send this design to like a top player and I wanted them to get the best experience, like if I were to send this to Leffen, I am not sending him a clear shell. I'm sending him a black shell with a white gate, because I know that just has the best clearance and it has the best fit, and it's going to give him the least amount of trouble. So if I were sending this to like Leffen, this is the configuration. But if you're doing it for yourself and you want something that's beautiful, or you're willing to work with it, then this clear material is great. It's just maybe like an 8 out of 10, while this is like a 10 out of 10. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I mean, if I were you, I would order at least like 1 or 2 of these white gate plates, because they're only like $2. So I think it's worth it, considering that you know that these are going to be really good. You know that they're going to hit against the control stick as nice as possible. So probably on top of your clear shell order, probably get at least like 1 or 2 of these. And like, the gates are just beautiful. I really can't wait for you to try them. But another great option would be if we could get it starting off, grab that, starting off stock, and we get a notcher like like Nesmodgod or someone like that to come in here and take this gate and actually notch it themselves, and then have like a resin caster come in and resin cast these gate plates, and then you would have hand done notches, mass producible, and you could do that for different characters, because I know like Marth and Pikachu want different notches. So that would be really cool, and it would take out all the grunt work of having to like digitally notch and worrying about if that's the same as like a real human's notches. It would just take that out completely. And I think it's also a viable way of notching these gate plates. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, they're beautiful. I'd love for you to try them out. Tell me what you think. With fob and Goomwave notch calibration, I'm sure they'll function. I'm sure they're great. Just depends on feel, material. And you know, this is a smoother material, so hell, maybe this one will actually be better than this one. Who knows? But that's all I wanted to say. So we'll make your order and see how it goes. Take care.